this second video on the creosote furnace system, we're going to take a look at how the oil is handled and how it's stored and how it's extracted. So before we do that, we first need to take a look at the furnaces themselves to understand where the oil comes from and what we do with it. So when these furnaces are burning logs, they make charcoal, and a byproduct of this charcoal process is this oil. And as these tanks fill up, when they get full, they can no longer convert logs into charcoal. So this tank's about to get full, and it won't be able to continue making charcoal until this furnace is drained. So let's take a look at how furnaces are drained. And I've peeled back some of the stonework that hides some of this stuff that happens out of sight. These are the oil tanks. This is oil tank number 1, this is number 2, and this is number 3. And below the furnace, you see that there is a oil cart. It's a liquid cart, and it makes rounds through the furnaces and draws oil out of the furnaces and deposits them in the tanks. So what we want to do is we want to get that cart started and take a look at what it does. So in order to start extracting oil from the tanks, you come into the control room and you flip the switch, and that sends the oil cart on its way. Now you can see it's gone ahead. So just to show you what happens here, when you flip the lever, that turns that signal off to this inverter, and that activates the tracks, sending the oil cart on its way. And that oil cart goes up through here, along this passageway, hangs a left here, comes underneath, hangs a right, hangs another right, and begins to head down through and underneath these furnaces. This furnace has no oil. It's been drained, and this liquid loader has been drained. So it'll pass underneath all of these furnaces one by one until the cart's full. And to show you what that looks like, it passes underneath all of these, comes through here, swings around, passes those 9 furnaces at the in the middle row, and it comes back around here, out the middle row, heads down to the 3rd row. And when it reaches the end of the 3rd row, it swings this way and gets back onto the original track, comes back the same way it came down, comes up through here, climbs, and then swings around and comes here, and you can see it's picked up a load, it's draining oil, and it's putting it in the tank. The tank's filling up, this cart's draining. And when it's done, it's going to carry on. It's going to go back down and then come back up because that switch is still on. So here it goes. And it's going to go pick up more oil. So it makes its way through these 9 furnaces here, swings around, comes back through these 9 until it's full, of course, and once it's full it bypasses furnaces and then heads straight to the oil tanks, and then it'll head back down these 9. So that's the route that it takes. So what we end up have happen is that this tank will fill up, and let's fast forward to what happens when that tank is full. Okay, so we fast forwarded now to a time when this tank is full, and we want to take a look at what happens when the oil cart tries to deliver oil here. So we'll go around the back, take a look. The oil cart is trying to drop oil off, but the tank here is full, and the oil cart can't release its last 8,000 units. So it ends up sitting here until this oil tank is either drained or until a bypass signal is turned on, and it allows the cart to carry on. So what you would need to do is flip this lever, and that allows the oil cart to come and start filling up this second tank. And that oil cart, as you can see, is right there on the second tank. It'll come back up and start another round. So let's fast forward to when this tank is full. Okay, here we are, and we can see now that this tank is full. And we'll watch and see what happens when the oil cart tries to deliver to this tank. And it stops here, and it's emptying the last little bit, and it's just going to sit here. It can't fill up that tank anymore, so it's going to sit here, and the oil extraction process comes to a grinding halt. So once again, it's a matter of flipping the switch and letting the oil cart pass through so it can move on to this third furnace and drain the oil. Okay, and we'll fast forward now to what happens when this tank is full. Okay, so here we are at this stage where the third tank is full, and the next step is to drain these oil tanks, because the oil cart can no longer extract oil from the furnaces and deposit them here, with these tanks being full, and eventually the furnaces inside the furnace room are going to fill up and won't be able to, the furnaces won't be able to cook any more logs into charcoal. So the next step, and actually this should probably be done when the second tank is full. That's when I highly recommend a porter would order bottles. Porters are going to use bottles to drain these tanks and store the oil bottles in the warehouse for use of trading with NPC builders. There's a value to the bottles. So let's go do that now. We'll put a work order in. Okay, so here we are, and we're going to make a work order. And this is what porters will do when they need glass bottles. Wouldn't hurt to even put this. Alternately, since it's a porter writing a work order, they can deliver the work order to the carpenters if they're doing their rounds. Here we are. And the carpenter is going to make these glass bottles up in here. But odds are carpenters don't have 26 stacks of sand on them. So as a porter, I would recommend that you bring 26 stacks of sand with you, because if you don't, they're just going to have to go to the post office and write a work order for that as well, and you're going to have to wait while that work order gets filled. So it wouldn't hurt to bring 26 stacks of sand from the warehouse when you deliver this. Okay, so not a bad idea to give them sand to make the glass bottles with. Otherwise, they'll just have to order it from you in the end anyways. And when the carpenters are done making the glass bottles, porters can get those, or they'll be waiting in the porter's office if another porter's picked those up. So glass bottles have arrived. Porters, you want to incinerate this book. And we'll head out to extract the oil from the furnaces, or from the oil tanks. So the next step to extracting these is to shut off the extraction process, let the cart pass, and begin using the bottles to extract the oil. It doesn't take too long to extract the oil from the furnaces. Okay, so there you have it. You've used the 26 stacks to drain the furnaces as much as you can. The second last step is to reset the levers, and you can begin the process again if you want to start draining them again. So you just flip the switch and the cart will make its rounds. So from there, we're going to take the bottles to the warehouse. And that's the oil extraction process.